and welcome back to Restyled, our monthly show where we share tips, tricks, and trends to apply to your Poshmark closet as both a seller and a shopper. It's Earth Month, our favorite month here at Poshmark, and there's so many great sustainable brands and practices that we're going to talk through that you can really apply to your closet this month. Really, at Poshmark, we think that even the smallest actions that you can take in your fashion journey can make a big difference. Whether that's sourcing sustainable treasures and secondhand finds, extending the life cycle of the items in your closet by giving them a second life, or sourcing sustainable brands for you to wear and to sell. Let's dive in and talk all things sustainability. I am joined by the lovely Megan. Let's give Megan a round of applause. We're so happy to have you, Megan.
Thank you, Isabel. I'm happy to be here.
Megan is from our merchandising team, and she's here with us to share some top sustainable brands on Poshmark that are really trending right now that you can feel great about shopping for this Earth Month. You look so cute today. What are you wearing?
Thank you. This is actually a vintage denim jacket I got on Poshmark.
Love. So cute. The queen of vintage. She always is rocking the best vintage pieces in the office. You have like the most amazing collection of Manolos and denim. And I love the wash of this. It's so like perfectly worn in.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what's awesome about vintage is you can get something that has like a worn in look and feel. I mean, the distressing is
perfect.
It's perfect. It's
chef's kiss, as we say.
Yeah. What are you wearing today?
I'm wearing my favorite Everlane sweater that I think I wear like every day. Some jeans from Poshmark, and then a knit from a brand, I think it's pronounced Toch. And they do small batch knits out of Uruguay.
Oh.
So they have really fun colors, definitely leaning into that eclectic grandpa trend that we talked about last month.
Love it. Let me just start off by saying that listing on Poshmark is inherently sustainable, right? Like we're keeping items out of landfill, we're giving them a second life, but you can also feel good about shopping too. And I'm excited to share with the community a bunch of great sustainable brands that we're seeing trending in the data.
Amazing. I'm so excited to hear about it. There's so many sustainable brands that have so much listings on Poshmark that I love.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into the numbers, I'd love to share with the community how we are measuring our data. So year over year is the growth in orders from the year prior to this year. So it's just the increase in orders from this year and the prior year.
Great.
Are you ready to get into the sustainable brands?
Yes, let's get into it.
Okay. All right. So topping the charts at number 1 is Baggu, up 109% year over year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I even thought they were trendy last year, but they're topping their own charts.
Yeah. Next on the list is Adidas, up 74% year over year.
Wow.
And what are you wearing on your feet?
Adidas Sambas, my favorites. I literally wear them to death. I love them. They're such good quality.
It's awesome that Adidas is a sustainable brand. Rounding out the list is Pact at up 62% year over year, and Everlane up 28% year over year.
Perfect.
Everlane. Yeah, I mean, they're both phenomenal brands that are classic quality basics that you can wear like season over season.
And I feel like Everlane has really become a household name, but Pact is one that I just learned about more recently. They have such amazing styles. And we're actually doing a fun Earth Month activation with some sustainable brands, and we'll be talking about Posh Shows later on the show. And some of these brands, including Pact, will be doing Posh Shows where they're talking about their brands, what they stand for, and also sharing community listings of some of their styles. So definitely stay tuned for that. We'll be sharing more info on social.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, you have to tune in.
I will. Fun. I absolutely will. I think it's also worth mentioning that, supporting eco-friendly brands is really not the only way to shop sustainably. One of my absolute favorite ways to shop is Duh, vintage.
Yes, the vintage queen.
And there are just so many interesting and unique ways that you can shop vintage on Poshmark, and they may not necessarily be brand or designer specific. Take eclectic grandpa, for example. Um, you know, it's great because I feel like you can search for items that are relevant to a trend. There's so much that you can find on Poshmark.
When you have the right keywords.
Yes, when you have the right keywords. And speaking of search terms, in the last month alone, I mean, we've seen an increase in vintage search terms. We've seen an uptick of 92% month over month for the term vintage Coach Ergo.
Wow.
Do you remember Coach?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I had the cutest little like Coach monogram kind of like baguette bag that was like so small and cute. And now I've been seeing people wearing them again. It's totally come back.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal that you can wear it now. The next term is vintage prom dress, up 69%. Prom.
Oh my gosh, I remember my prom.
Yeah. I hate to date myself, but I would say that my prom dress is probably considered vintage now.
Yes, I love it. Well, you need to list it on Poshmark. Do you still have it?
Yeah, I do. It's a super classic silhouette, classic color, and you know, I may not wear it in its original condition right now, but you know, I think that's the fun thing about like vintage clothing is you can totally upcycle it or pair it with something that's more modern day that you feel like suits your style now.
And I definitely wish that I had Poshmark back in the day when I was
Same.
searching for my prom dress, and I could find some very cool, unique vintage prom dress like clearly prom goers are doing right now.
And our last trending search term is vintage beaded dress, up 64% month over month. Yeah.
I love it. I feel like that really makes sense given we're heading into wedding guest season, also prom season.
Yeah, I would say that if you're trying to figure out which search terms to use, I think calling out details and attributes like material or pattern or silhouettes, embellishments, those are great ways to uncover unique finds that are just hiding out on Poshmark.
If you guys have vintage dresses in your closets, be sure to include keywords like prom, wedding guest, so that people who are searching for items for special occasions can find your pieces more easily.
If you, the community, is sitting on any of these pieces, it may be a good time to list them.
Totally. Well, thank you so much, Megan. It's been so fun
Absolutely.
having you on, talking about all these fun, trending, sustainable brands and vintage search terms. And I hope we have you back soon.
Thank you. Thank
Really
you so much.
appreciate it. Now we've talked shopping and our favorite brands and styles and trends to shop for. We're going to switch gears into some selling tips. So I'm joined here with the lovely Parways. Let's give Parways a round of applause. Parways comes from our community team, and he's here to share some Posh Show tips and tricks with you all. Welcome, Parways.
Thanks, Isabel.
I love your outfit. I love a camp shirt, the best.
Oh my god, yes. I'm living for the fresh spring feeling and vibes, and I just wanted to feel as vibrant as I looked.
I love it. Well, you're doing a great job at it.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to be on set. I gotta say, love this couch. It gives me ceiling popcorn vibes.
Yes,
love it the
exactly,
most.
as we all love.
I'm here to help you share some details about how you can level up your sales and make some bagoo.
Oh, perfect transition from our bagoo conversation. I love it.
So, first timer tip, if you guys are going live, there's 3 points that we definitely want to make sure you hit. So, first things first, when you guys are creating your show, make sure to add at least 5 items to your tray. Once you've added 5 items to your tray, the next thing you want to do is definitely invite some friends. As much as we love doing a Posh Show and being strong and independent, sometimes having that backbone and support is great. And realistically, if you're the only one in your show, you're not going to sell anything. So.
Exactly. And it's like, the Poshmark way, is to have your community around you, your besties around you.
Exactly. Sometimes you just need a really good hype man or hype gal.
Yeah, 100%.
So once you've got your 5 items in your tray, you've got your friends ready and locked in to watch your show, then we recommend just going live for at least 15 minutes, just so you guys just get a natural feel for how things are going. The next thing that we're going to talk about for creating your show is show tags. So show tags are what you can use to label your show to help curate your experience and basically let people know, hey, what am I watching this for, you know?
Love that.
Mhm.
What are some show tags that you recommend, or some examples?
So some trending show tags for sure are closet clear out, low starts, and jewelry. And for you first time hosts, there's actually a unique tag for y'all. It's called the first time show host tag. So when you actually put that as one of your show tags, it'll place your show into a unique carousel on the All Posh Shows page where people can basically swipe through and see all of the people who are going live for the first time.
Cool. So like a way for people to find you and come and support your show. What's the difference between the categories and the show tags?
So basically, the show tags focus on what the thematic of your show is. So, for example, if I want to do like an entire 80s or 90s show, I would basically have the 80s or 90s show tag. If I'm going a whole Lululemon Girls show, we're going to rock it out with Lululemon and Girls. Moving on to top selling categories. So, this is going to be for items and listings that people have placed in their show tray and sold. So, top selling categories for that are wallets, necklaces, and blouses.
But right back into the necklaces and the jewelry trend.
Exactly. We're really seeing a lot of love around pieces of clothing or accessories that can just be mixed around all season long.
And especially as we're going into spring with the blouses, people are going back into the office. There's so many uses for that. So it makes sense that that would be a trending category.
Definitely, especially since it's going to get really hot outside, you know, like really breathable, comfortable clothing. Short sleeve blouses look really cute with skirts.
Love it. Awesome.
I actually have a couple of really fun show facts for you guys.
Fun.
When you're creating your live, one really popular thing that we really recommend and we see a lot of sellers doing is creating a live listing. So a live listing is kind of like your schedule. So they'll basically make a graphic, put that graphic onto a listing more or less. So that graphic is going to have your upcoming show dates, times, and categories. And basically they'll go ahead and like that listing. And then what the seller does is they'll add that listing into every single show that they're doing and feature it right at the beginning. Because what a really cool thing that Poshmark does that I think is really great is that whenever you pin and feature a listing in your tray, anyone and everyone who's liked that listing will immediately get notified that that listing is in your show, so they can pop right in and get ready to get whatever they signed up for.
That's so cool. So it's like an advertisement for your show with all the deets in your Poshmark closet.
Exactly. This next tip pertains to silent versus live shows. Definitely, we love the ability to swap between silent and live shows, but realistically, not everyone is comfortable. So if you aren't comfortable doing a live show, we do recommend you do a silent show just to get the hang of things. But when comparing live and silent shows directly, live shows definitely have a 12 time longer viewer rate than silent shows. So viewers definitely have more to look at in a live show, which is why they tend to stick around longer. And when it comes to sales, live shows have 40 times more sales than silent shows do.
Those numbers are really substantial, though. Like, if you feel comfortable, I think that's a great tip for trying something new and going live.
Yeah, honestly, you're selling yourself alongside of your item. Honestly, if you have figurines, anything really cool and unique that you have in your room, I'd recommend just like having it in the background as props, just really cute things to really make your show unforgettable. So share together shows are basically shows where you guys have not only items from your closet featured in your tray, but items from other poshers in their tray. So what's really cool about this is that because you are having items from multiple poshers, there's tons of different people who've liked both your listings and their listings commingling in your show. So this actually leads to a 4.5 times increase in your audience size.
Wow. That's really cool. So that's what I love about share shows. It's really like a FaceTime.
Honestly, speaking of share shows and moving forward to it, if you guys want, you guys can do a sell together show with your friends as your first show. It's a really good idea. It's basically along the same lines as a share show, except instead of having items loaded from both trays, you just invite your friend on screen to sell together and help support you. So the way this works is you'll have your friend hop in as soon as you're live. I mean, if they're not already there, because let's be real, The
True friends
homies-
will be there.
Exactly. They show up. So they'll comment on your show, you'll tap on their name and invite them to be on screen with you. And all they need to do is just pick up the vibe, have a good time, and give you like that hype man energy and vibe that I was talking about earlier to really make it a memorable experience. Definitely for share shows that I've seen with a lot of friends selling together, having a great time, it really has a warm, inviting atmosphere that you just can't find in other places.
Those are really great tips about Posh shows, and I'm excited to use those. And maybe we'll have a little show together one of these days.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a great idea.
Oh, I could only wish that I could host a show with the king of Posh shows. Well,
Who?
thank you.
No, just
Yeah. Well, thank you, Parways. It was so fun having you on, and I really appreciate you adding all your insights on all things Posh shows.
Thanks. I appreciate being here. I'll be here all week.
Now we're going to get into one of my favorite parts of the show, which is where we phone a friend from the Poshmark community to add some tips or insights into the topics we talked about today. Since we're talking all things sustainability for this special Earth Month show, I'm going to call on our friend Ray of Ray Run Love. She is really a experienced upcycler and reseller on Poshmark, and she's going to be sharing her tips for getting started in upcycling for your Poshmark closet. So let's pass it over to Ray.
Hi Poshmark, my name is Ray, and this is my styler sidekick, Coco Chanel. Say bye, Coco. She's out here. So my Poshmark closet is Ray One Love, and I've been on Poshmark since 2015. And I've been upcycling pretty much my whole life. So when it comes to upcycling, really there's so much opportunity out there. And when you go into the thrift store, I kind of look at it as like, my canvas. Like these are, when I walk in there, I know I'm going to have multiple things that I can source, multiple things that I can find, but then what can I add to each piece? How can I transform that piece into something else? How can I recreate it? How can I give it life again, give it a second chance? And that's kind of just the nature of how I shop and how I bring these styles to life, like through upcycling. So I really hope that I was able to inspire and empower you through the world of upcycling. You can always reach out to me if you have any questions. My Instagram and Poshmark are the same at Raywin Love, and I would love to hear more about your upcycling journey. You can come ask me any questions, and I'm just here to really spread the love when it comes to sustainability and keeping things out of the landfill, staying within that circular fashion. And I'm just going to sign off and say, the world is your runway, run it with style. You might as well look fabulous.
Thank you so much, Ray. We loved hearing all those amazing tips from you, and I'm so excited to give those a try this Earth Month. And to everyone watching, we so appreciate you tuning in to our newest episode of Restyled. If you enjoyed it, please like, follow, subscribe, all the things, so you can really tune into the next episode and be notified when we have a new episode coming your way. And until then, stay stylish.